Have you ever sat in a classroom knowing you are smart enough to do well, but somehow you just don't? Perhaps you understand the lessons when the teacher speaks, but you never study at home. Or maybe you tell yourself, quote, zero, until it is too late. Maybe you have even told yourself that you are just, quote, one, yet deep down, you know you can do more. Here is what I want you to truly know. The big difference between students who fail and students who get straight A's is not intelligence. It is not even hard work. It is just one question. This is the true story of a young man named Jason. He was failing every class in his third year of college until his professor asked him one question, and it changed everything. 2 years later, he finished his degree with a 3.9 GPA and a full scholarship for higher studies. Stay with me, because if you have ever felt like you are not using your full ability, this question might just save your whole school life. At a medium-sized state university, thousands of students chased their futures. Among them was a 20-year-old engineering major named Jason Park. Jason was not dumb. In fact, when he paid attention in class, he understood ideas faster than most other students. His high school teachers had said he was very talented. His test scores for college were in the top 10% of all students. But by his third year of college, Jason was failing. Not just struggling, but truly failing. His routine was the same every school term. Week 1. He would go to classes and tell himself, quote, 2. Weeks 2 to 3, he would start missing morning classes, quote 3, he thought. Weeks 4 to 8, he would stop going to classes completely. Quote, 4, he told himself. Weeks 9 to 12, panic would set in. He would study fast the night before. He failed the exam every time. Every school term, the same pattern. His GPA was only 1.8. He was on a special warning list because of his low grades. The university had sent him 2 letters telling him quote, 5, His parents, immigrants who had worked extra long hours for many years to pay for his schooling, called every week. His mother would ask. He would lie. The truth that bothered Jason was not that he was failing. It was that he knew he could do well if he just tried. But he could not make himself try. Every morning his alarm clock rang at 7 in the morning. Every morning he would hit the snooze button and think, quote, 8. But tomorrow never truly came. His roommate Mike studied every night and maintained a 3.5 GPA. Jason would watch Mike at his desk and feel a mix of shame and anger. Quote, 9, Jason thought. Quote, 10. One evening in November, Jason's phone rang. It was his mother. Jason, we just got an email from the university. It says you are failing 3 classes. Her voice was shaking. 3 classes? Is this true? Jason's stomach felt sick. I can fix it, Mom. I just need... You have been saying that for 2 years, her voice broke. Jason, do you know how hard your father and I work? Do you know what we give up? Then she spoke quietly. Maybe college is not for you. Maybe you should come home, get a job. We cannot keep paying for you to waste time. She hung up the phone. Jason sat on his bed, the phone still in his hand. His chest felt tight with shame. For the first time, he saw the real truth. He was not a victim of bad luck. He was choosing this path. Every single day, he was choosing to fail. The next morning, Jason went to his professor's office hours. Professor Martinez taught engineering thermodynamics, the hardest class in the program. She was in her 50s, known for being tough but fair. He knocked on her office door. __quote _17 __, her voice called. Jason walked inside. Professor Martinez looked up from her laptop. Quote 18, quote 19, Jason stammered. Quote 20, quote, she said simply. Quote 21, quote. She looked straight at him. Quote 22, quote 23, quote 24, she replied. Quote 25. Jason felt the full weight of her question. Quote 26, quote 27. Professor Martinez leaned back. Jason said nothing. Jason asked quietly. Professor Martinez stood up and wrote one sentence on her whiteboard in large letters. Who do you want to be? She turned to face him. Jason stared at the question. She continued, You see, you don't study, because if you did and still failed, you would have to admit you are not as smart as you think. This protects your ego. Jason's throat felt tight. She spoke the truth. But do you want to be that person? The smart but lazy guy? The one with great promise who never does anything with it? Or do you want to be different? Someone who shows up, someone who tries, someone who fails sometimes but never stops trying. She tapped the whiteboard. She paused. That night, Jason sat at his desk. He held a blank paper. He wrote. He wrote answers, then crossed them out. Quote 38. He thought it was too unclear. Quote 39. At 1 in the morning, Jason wrote a sentence that felt truly right. Quote 40. He saw clearly that every time he hit the snooze button, he was giving up on himself. Every class he skipped, he was giving up on himself. Being the smart, lazy guy came from 1,000 small times he gave up. He wrote a second sentence. Quote 41. The next morning, his alarm clock rang at 7. Every part of him wanted to hit snooze, but he remembered his answer. He got out of bed. He went to class. He sat in the very front row. After class, he told Professor Martinez, Quote 42. She smiled. Quote 43. The rebuilding was hard work. Professor Martinez told him, Quote 44. Jason followed her guide. In week 3, he understood only 30% of the lessons, but he showed up. By week 7, he understood 70%. He actually started to like learning. By week 10, Jason scored 78% on the final test. When he got his final grade, a C, he did not feel defeated. He felt proud. For the first time in many years, he had shown up fully and often. Professor Martinez told him that C in thermodynamics was the turning point for him. The next semester, Jason used the same rule. Who do I want to be? Someone who shows up. 7 in the morning alarm. No arguments. Front row seat. No excuses. His grades went up to 3.4, then 3.7, then 3.8. By his last year of college, Jason was a changed person. He was a teaching helper for the very class he had almost failed. When he applied for advanced studies, he wrote his essay about that one question. On graduation day, Jason walked across the stage. He had a 3.9 grade average in his final year. He also had a full scholarship to a top school for advanced studies. His mother hugged him. I am so proud of you, she said. I am proud of me too, Mom, he replied. Before leaving, he visited Professor Martinez one last time. I am going to become a professor, he said. And I am going to ask students who are struggling the same question you asked me. She smiled. The question is not magic, Jason, she said. The magic is in answering it with truth, and then living that answer every single day. My friend, if you are watching this, maybe you are like Jason once was, smart enough to do well, but somehow not. Maybe you are looking at your phone instead of studying. Let me ask you, who do you want to be? Not what job you want, but who do you want to be? Do you want to be someone who gives up on himself, or someone who shows up? Do you want to be someone who makes excuses, or someone who takes responsibility? Discipline is not just how you were born. It is a choice you make about who you want to be. Tonight, take a piece of paper. Write, who do I want to be? Write your honest answer. Then write, tomorrow I am someone who, fill in that blank. And then tomorrow morning, be that person. Not forever, just tomorrow. I cannot promise you perfect grades, but I can promise this. If you wake up every day and choose to be someone who shows up, 1 year from now, you will not know the person you used to be. If this story touched you, hit that like button, not for me, but as a promise to yourself. Leave a comment and finish this sentence. Tomorrow, I am someone who... I will answer as many as I can. Share this with a friend who is having a hard time, and subscribe for more stories of change. Remember, the question is not magic. The magic is in living the answer. Who do you want to be? Your answer will shape your life. Choose carefully. Then, live that choice.